The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1 in the name of Jono Naylor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his statement that a priority for this government is to provide a more productive and competitive economy that supports jobs and higher incomes?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes, in the context in which it was made. The government doesn't create jobs, businesses do. Under this government, we've seen jobs, growth and higher wages for New Zealand families, 200,000 more jobs in the last 3 years, and average annual wages are up $11,000 since 2008 to almost $58,000. That's a 24% increase in the average wage at a time when inflation went up 11%.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jono Naylor.
To the Minister, what recent reports has he seen on unemployment in New Zealand?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, Statistics New Zealand today revised their household labour force data as a result of more accurate data collection techniques. This provisionally reduced the current unemployment rate from 5.7% to 5.2%, although this will need to be confirmed at the next survey release. An unemployment of 5.2% would make New Zealand the 11th lowest in the OECD, compared to 5.7% in Australia. And I'd stress that this is a result of changes in measurement technique only.
Supplementary.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Jono Naylor.
What is the outlook for jobs and wages?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, as I've mentioned, in the last 3 years there's been 200,000 new jobs added to the economy. Treasury are projecting a further 170,000 jobs by 2020. And if the average wage follows the projections, it will rise from $58,000 to over $63,000 per year by 2020.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jono Naylor.
What specific steps is the government taking to reinforce business confidence to invest another dollar and employ another person?
Order. The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's any number, but I'll just mention a few that are in the process of being implemented. We're reducing ACC levies, where they're now $2 billion lower per year than in 2012. That's $2 billion left in the hands of ACC levy payers, and we're spending, along with local government, $110 billion on infrastructure in the next 10 years, with particular success in the rollout of ultra-fast broadband and the completion of the RBI project.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Does he agree with the statement of Pope Francis that inequality is the root of social evil, given that inequality has risen in New Zealand on his watch, and isn't it time he got back to confession?
Either of those two supplementary questions, the Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, I'm bound to, because the Pope, of course, is infallible. But unlike the member who's wrong, there is no evidence that inequality in New Zealand is increasing.
Order. I do need a little more cooperation, particularly from members to my left. Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Prime
To the
Minister.
Minister, is it true that at confession you say sorry? And if that's the case, shouldn't Andrew Little just say sorry?
No. Order. No. That question. Order. All members need to settle down. Order. I'm on my feet. Now that question is ruled out of order. I'm now going to deal. Order. I'm now going to deal with a point of order from Andrew Little, if he still has one, and it will be heard in silence.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, there is a growing track record on the part of the Prime Minister to raise questions and sometimes points of order that are clearly designed to lead to chaos in the House and disorder in the House. And it is a bit rich for that member who has a track record of making things up and never acknowledging he is wrong.
Order. The member was on solid ground with the first part of his point of order. It was not a point of order from the Prime Minister. It was a supplementary question. I cannot anticipate what that supplementary question is going to be until it is stated, and as soon as it was stated, I then ruled it out of order. Order. Question. Order. 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 My patience will run out very quickly today, and some members may be being asked to leave the chamber. Question number 2, materia 2.